Today on Rockfeed, we have been gifted with a really special opportunity here today. We are joined by Slipknot vocalist Corey Taylor, this is Slipknot Feed today and pretty much every other day as well. And we are happy to be here. How are you doing, Corey?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to have you here. I didn't realize today would be like a part of my vernacular, a shitstorm of everything else that I've got to do. But it's all good. We were able to slide it in. So, yeah, it's good, man.
Well, thank you for making time for us. And one of the cool things about this week is that the new Slipknot album, We Are Not Your Kind, available for streaming and sales right now, is currently probably going to be number one in the United States. We know for sure.
Knock on Formica.
Yeah, we can say number one in the States. Looking like it's trending that way in Europe, and I don't know how the rest of the other places work.
It's doing really well, man. I mean, it's a good problem to have. Let's put it that way.
It's a good problem. When you started this journey with Slipknot, did you ever think that your band would be one of the biggest bands literally in the world?
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's the funny thing. I tell this to people all the time. Like, nobody's more surprised by our success than we are.
Yeah.
Because on paper, it doesn't make any sense. 9 dicks from Iowa playing crazy metal in masks and jumpsuits at a time when people were just more worried about being shiny and pretty. Mm-hmm. And now, like 20 years later, we're bigger than we ever were, which is ridiculous, man. It's crazy. I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a good problem to have. It's awesome.
You said something interesting recently about being in a band, and we talked about streaming.
Right.
The streaming dynamic here is very interesting. We have bands like Tool that just hit the streaming marketplace. But what a lot of people don't really understand is that streaming doesn't pay artists that well.
Right.
The return on that, I can tell you on a much smaller scale, any projects that I've been involved with have yielded very little return on investment.
Yeah.
And what do you think that artists can do to better facilitate opportunities for higher royalty rates for artists? Because it's literally next to nothing at this point.
I tell you what they can do. They can start by all of them banding together and pushing the streaming services to stop appealing the legislation that's already been put in place to pay us better. There's a reason that Tool waited as long as they did to put this stuff up on streaming services, because they knew they weren't going to be compensated for something that they worked their asses off for. To me, it smells of two things with Tool. A, it's perfect timing because they have a new album coming out, and B, they probably worked out a deal with their label to make sure that they got a piece of the money that the label's automatically going to get because of the money that's being generated from streaming. And that's what people don't understand. There's the difference between streaming and radio is you make money off radio because of the publishing that's involved. With streaming, there really is no publishing that is promised. That money goes directly to, and technically it's mechanical, goes directly to the label.
Yeah.
So the label is making huge amounts of money, and they are not contractually bound to pay us for that because of what they call new technology. And unless you have been able to renegotiate your contracts in a way that makes it viable for you, which we haven't, which a lot of people haven't, because you can't keep up with the technology. Unless you are able to adapt with that, and legally a lot of labels won't let you do that, you get screwed. So from a publishing standpoint, the only way for us to make money like that off of the streaming is for that legislation to actually be signed into law, which the fact that they are appealing it, most of them are anyway, is just a smack in the face. It's like, we don't have a problem with streaming.
Yep.
We don't have a problem with people listening to our music. What we have a problem with is these streaming services basically treating it like we owe them, which is not the way it should be.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I know that one of the ways that bands have attacked this is Metallica themselves. They purchased all of their masters, and that's a rare occurrence.
It's a very rare occurrence. I can think of maybe 3 bands that have been able to do that.
Yeah.
Metallica's one, Motley's the other.
Yeah.
And I think there's I'm not sure about AC/DC, but I know there are a handful of bands that actually own the masters and the rights for them. But those are also, you're talking about bands that not only own their masters, but they also own the label that they release stuff out of. You know, Metallica has Blackened, Motley has Motley Records. Like it's a very, very small class or group, you know. You have to be done with your contracts, the original that you signed in the first place, and you know, ready to go on to an independent basis to be able to do anything like that. And for bands like us, and probably a million other bands out there, you just simply don't have the money to do it.
Let's talk about Metallica. You know, when you were younger and you were, you know, I'm presuming you grew up listening to Metallica like everyone else did.
Duh.
And so growing up listening to Metallica, you're about to go on tour with Metallica.
Yeah.
What was that like for you when you found out that Slipknot was going to tour with Metallica? Which, by the way, I know you guys don't have control over that, but I was pissed when I found out that wasn't coming to the U.S.
Well, the funny thing is, this isn't the first time we've done it.
Yeah.
We did it back in 2004. It was us, it was Metallica, us, and Lost Prophets. Yeah.
Hey-o! All right, yeah.
That dude.
Yeah, he's a mess.
There's not enough pain in the world for that.
Yeah, totally.
However, so this isn't the first time. I mean, obviously, we're in two totally different places now. We've really come into our own.
Yep.
And in a way, and I don't want to say we're equals, but we're on equal playing
You're definitely
ground.
up there.
Yeah, absolutely. And to me, I mean, that's still crazy to think. So really, to me, it's amazing that I can share that kind of stage with a band that I grew up idolizing.
Yep.
You know, like to me, that's like the greatest sense of accomplishment in a lot of ways, you know, because we were both going over there at the same time, and it came down to they're going to do arenas, we're going to do arenas. It's like, well, wait a minute, what if we pair up and do stadiums, something we've never done?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we didn't even do that with Metallica when the first time we went, you know. I mean, they were massive places, but still wasn't arena, like stadiums. I mean, we're talking like soccer stadiums, dude. It's dumb over there.
Yeah.
So we jumped at it. We jumped at the chance to be able to basically go over to Australia and New Zealand for a couple weeks and enjoy it and just do our thing with one of the bands that inspired us to be who we are, you know?
One of the cool things, and when I heard about this struck into my mind, is that with Metallica and with Slipknot, you guys did this with Korn, there's a lot of collaboration that goes on.
Right.
Each one of you guys have a very dynamic live show. Maybe an opportunity might present itself where you guys might be able to have some sort of cool on-stage moment. Maybe James Hetfield could come out and sing Spit It Out.
Well, I tell you what, that actually happened when we were with them in 2004. The last show that we did with them, and I want to say it was it Poland? I think it was Poland. It might have been Poland or Prague in the Czech Republic. But it was an outdoor gig, and it was World Cup time. So nobody's really watching us. They're watching, there's a gigantic screen just perpendicular to the audience. So here we are, here's the screen, and everyone's kind of watching us at a time when it was hard to ignore us. They're like watching us, and then watching the goal, and then watching this, and then watching the goal. Now we get to the sit down, you know, the Spit It Out, the sit down part, and all of a sudden from the wings, and we've got video of it, here comes Metallica, and all of their crew, all in masks. And Lars immediately jumps on the drums, starts playing.
Wow.
James is just standing there, just watching everything. We get everybody down, and then all of a sudden, everybody jumps up. And watching Metallica do it with us, man, it was such a great bonding experience.
Yeah.
And I mean, they were so gracious as people to tour with.
Yep.
They checked on us every day. I mean, they watched us every dude. It was really surreal, you know. And the fact that now we all keep in touch and stuff, and to this day are still, you know, friends and peers. It's dope. So you never know. I mean, if they asked us to jam a tune, every one of us would turn 16 again. Every one of us would be such dicks, just going, come on.
That would be one of the biggest moments of the year, I think, in heavy music.
I think people would lose their mind.
Yeah, that would be insane. Let's talk about some recent things that have occurred in the mass media. We've talked about this online a little bit. A lot of people have been talking about it. in these mass tragedy events, heavy metal has oddly been bearing the blame by some people in the media for these incidents that have occurred. We saw that with the Acacia strain had to come out, and we know those are great guys. And obviously, because this piece of shit was wearing their merch during a tragic incident, people began pointing the finger at metal musicians and people. What would you say to people who claim that heavy music has some sort of an impact on monstrous people who go out and commit crimes like that?
I think they're idiots. You know, I think those people, they subscribe to the 3Ds of politics, which is deny, detract, and deflect. And that's exactly what it is. As soon as guns came into play again, the first thing that the GOP and the gun lobby did was find anything but the gun itself to deflect.
Video games as well.
Video games. Oh yeah. I mean, it was the video games. It was the heavy metal music. It was the mental illness. It was all of these things. Now, never mind the fact that one of the first things that Trump did when he got into office was take away those prohibitions against people with mental illness, with a history of mental illness, being able to, buy a firearm. Oh, but now suddenly that's biting you in the ass. Well, now it's the video games. Well, there are video games all over the world. Yeah. People don't have that problem. Exactly. Well, it's the heavy metal music. Well, there's heavy metal music all over the world as well. Yep. In a lot of countries, and a lot of them darker than ours is, They don't have that problem. The problem, and look, I catch a lot of hell for the politics that I practice. I may bend one way or the other, but I don't subscribe to one party or the next. My problem is the fact that innocent people are dying. And until people can really realize that, yes, you can be a responsible gun owner and see that there is a gun problem. Until people can admit that, until people on the left can admit that not everyone who owns a gun is a f***ing killer, none of us are going to talk. And that's the problem. The problem is that there are too many guns. If you oversaturate an industry or a culture with something, 9 times out of 10 it tends to go away. But that's not the case with guns because of the way we have deified it or fetishized it. We now have this thing where if you try to get rid of some of the guns, it's instantly a threat. And to me, that smacks of addiction. Think about that. Do you really believe in gun rights? Or are you just addicted to the way that you feel when you have them?
Or are we compartmentalized as a society where everybody is in their own little group and everybody wants to, it's like politics to a certain degree have become team sports.
It's so fractious. No, absolutely. I mean, it's just you either root for your side and downplay the other side, but then it's always a competition. And that's not the way real politics, fluid politics, are supposed to be. It's supposed to be that somebody called real democracy, it's the politics of the half-loaf. It's supposed to be a conversation, not a collision. And that's the problem. The problem is we are doing this. And until we can do that, that's not going to happen. And until people stop just shutting people out when they hear trigger words on both sides, and start going, okay, well, how would you do it? That's the exact way that a conversation has to start. It doesn't start by blaming heavy metal, by blaming a blameless band like the Acacia strain, those poor guys. I mean, come on. Some of the nicest people on the planet. You certainly can't blame video games, or half of the countries around the world would be all be dead. I mean, it's one of the biggest industries on the planet. And these chicken shit, gutless want to blame that. It's like, give me a break.
It's ridiculous. Let's move on to something a little more lighthearted. It's hard to make a transition. With those sort of things. We were talking before with Alicia, and I wanted to...
Ooh, hold on. Alicia.
I f*** that up. All right.
Start from here.
We're gonna
here, take 2.
So we were talking with Alicia.
You nailed that, dude. First time he did it.
As many of you know, I'm a huge fan of one of the most delicious and healthy drinks on the planet, White Claw. It's very good. It's very manly. It's badass. It's very metal.
Did you say it's manly?
It's great. And it's low carb and low sugar. It's great.
God. It's low brow, I tell you that much.
So, yeah.
So you're gonna try. You're gonna man up with a 9.
I think I can try it. Yeah, if it's around. Let's talk about your health, because you have been through a lot in the last couple of years,
some shit.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
That I think a few weeks before the Jimmy Kimmel performance,
right.
You had double knee surgery, right?
Yeah.
My mom had a knee replacement, and I don't know if you had an entire knee done, but she had knee surgery, and she was out. How the did you get on stage just a few weeks later, if it was even that?
I mean, it was tough.
Yeah, how did you do that?
Really tough. I mean, it's amazing what high strength Motrin can get you through. Yeah. Basically. Basically, I did it with braces and just praying to God. I didn't have a replacement done.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of scar tissue, a lot of damage that had to be cleaned up. And unfortunately, it didn't fix the problem that I have in my right knee. There's a band that goes across my right knee that keeps slipping off my kneecap, which then it just folds. So I have a hard time with stairs. I have a hard time doing squats when I'm working out. Like, I have a hard time running. So every second of every show is pain for me. Like, it's pain because. At the end of the day, that's why we're here. So I'm not just gonna stand there, for God's sakes. It's Slipknot time. It's Stone Sour time. It's time to perform. Let's go.
Yeah.
Basically, it's the will filling in the blanks. It's the adrenaline kicking in and pushing you to do everything you can for those people who paid good damn money to come and see you. I will never waver in my belief that if you're not sweating, if you come off stage looking better than you did when you went on it, beat it.
Yeah.
You didn't do shit.
Yeah.
But that's me. Yeah. I'm not shitting on anyone else because that may be the way they do it. But when I come off stage, I look like I went to war.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I have watched a lot of live footage of the recent shows.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying this, honest to God, but your vocals have gotten much more intense.
Yeah.
Noticeably, your vocals have obviously always been great, but they have been, and people, if you read comments online, which we all try not to do, but if you do read them from time to time, you will see that there's almost an agreement across the board at that. Is there anything that you have specifically done that you can point the finger at that's helped with that?
Honestly, just quitting smoking.
Oh wow.
I smoked since I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
And not just me, this is my first time. I was stealing cigarettes from my mom when I was 10 years old. So I was smoking hardcore.
Wow.
So I smoked for 30 years. And then, I'm coming up on 5 years without them. And it is fucking night and day, dude. Not only is my lung capacity still there, or back actually, but I've actually gained a lot back from my range. I'm actually able to sing higher than I ever used to in a long time. My longevity's better. The strength is there, and I can go longer with the same type of energy. I don't burn out. It used to be that my voice would burn out towards the end of a set.
Yeah.
But now I'm able to really hit it as hard as I can for almost the entire set.
Do you work out every day?
Yeah. Well, not every day.
Yeah.
I work out when I can. When it comes to the show, that's all cardio.
Yeah,
so it's
100%.
So I might as well, when I'm on the road, I might as well be working out almost every day. But on days off, we go to the gym. I do weight training. Yeah. I try to do as much cardio as I can, but it's so hard with my knee. When I'm on stage, it's all adrenaline. So I'm just going. But yeah, so I do everything I can. Obviously I don't drink anymore. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I try to eat as well as I can, because at this point, if you're not trying to be the best at what you do, what are you doing?
It's about legacy at this point for you.
Not only that, but I also, after 20 years, I want to come off stage and have younger bands going, holy
yes.
Really? that's the goal. I want, there are guys in this band now who are younger than I am who just look at me and go, holy shit, dude. And I'm like, step it up. That's what this band was built on. Making everyone have to go, I gotta step it up now. Like that's what it's about. If I don't raise the bar, then I didn't deserve to be standing up to that bar in the first place.
So without coming off like the guy at the wrestling show who goes, it's still real to me, damn it. My first like true metal show was the Subliminal Versus tour back in 2005.
Shit. Yeah, okay.
Now I don't know if you remember this or not, but at least from what you said on stage, you had the flu or something.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell. It was insane. I was like, how does this guy have a fever and is still performing? If I get the fever, like I'm not putting videos out. I'm sitting my ass on the couch and watching like HGTV. I'm sorry, I know that's not metal, but that's what I do.
That sounds like it sounds like a better time than I'm having on stage. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, man, you're there to to do a gig. I've only canceled 4 gigs in my life.
Wow.
Ever.
Wow.
Even when I had spinal surgery, I pushed that 2 weeks because the start time was supposed to be about a week after my spinal surgery, so we postponed it 2 weeks. But yeah, I don't like canceling. I don't even like being late to get on stage. I can't stand it. And sometimes getting this band on stage is like trying to keep cats in a box. All right, it's that hard.
Yeah.
I'm there to play, man.
Yeah.
I'm there. I love to perform. I love seeing the excitement on people's faces. I love the challenge of being consistently good, at least good every night.
Yeah.
I love the challenge of trying to top myself every night.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. That's what makes all of the time away from home worth it.
Yep.
It's what makes all the time away from my kids worth it. It's hard, man. It's hard. This is hard time being out here. But the thing that balances that out is that you get to do the thing that you were built to do.
Yep.
So if I'm sick, man up. What am I, back to bed? No, there's a show. I'll do the show. Then I'll go back to bed. I've done shows with pneumonia before. I've done shows with 110 fever. Done shows, obviously I did in 15 years with a broken neck that I didn't even know about. So it was stupid. None of it matters. The only thing that matters is the lasting impact of that audience. It's my respect for them that makes me go as hard as I do.
Yep. So let's talk about, you mentioned, some of the younger guys in this band. Let's talk about the very mysterious and anonymous Tortilla.
A Tortilla guy.
Yeah, the Tortilla
TG.
Guy.
TGI Friday.
TGI. What do people think? What do people think about in the band? What do they think about the name Tortilla Guy, Tortilla Man, whatever it is?
Oh, we think it's brilliant. Oh, that's not going anywhere. All right. I mean, it's great.
I love it.
It's so good.
Yep.
Because, and I'm not even going to talk about him.
Yeah.
I'm just going to talk about the effect that he has had on this band, man. It's night and day.
Yep.
It's so good. And you can see it. You can see it on stage.
You can clearly see it.
You can feel it.
Yep.
You can feel it in everything we do.
Yep.
It's a joy to come to work again.
Yep.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So it's really good, man.
And I'll tell you, I mean, I just got to say, Dave Grohl is doing a great job. He's...
I tell you what. Say what you want about Tito Fuente being up there playing his little ass off.
Yeah.
For his age, I mean, should I not have said that?
Oh no! Damn it.
No, Tito Fuentes are
That's who it is.
There you go.
That's who it is. It's been revealed.
Now you know.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just sort of wrap this up, and then we're going to get to trying some of the delicious number 9 whiskey, which I have really.
I'm surprised you didn't cut this in half just to get to that.
I know.
I'm impressed. Your stick-to-itiveness is impressive.
I don't want you to feel it coming out of my pores, because once you guys are on stage, I'm going to be like sad, belligerent.
Oh, you're going to be 12 White Claws in.
Oh yeah, it's White Claw City tonight.
Swinging his panties above his head.
You can bet that. It's going down. White Claw City. Claw feed. That's right. All right.
Claw feed.
Yeah,
Did
claw
you say
feed.
claw feed?
Yeah, claw feed.
I don't want to be on claw feed.
So we're going to do an official taste testing here of the new Slipknot whiskey,
Gotta be.
which is out And is this, how is this available online?
It's available online. It's also available at, I think there's a bunch of like liquor stores that have started carrying it actually, because it has been reviewed so well.
Yep.
And all
right. So it's very cold.
Okay.
As you can see here, we're going to try this out. It's very cold, and a lot of people have been drinking from it, which tells you it's good.
Yeah.
So I've got it here, and it's Iowa whiskey. This is in partnership with an actual local Iowa distillery.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We kept it at home. Yeah. It was very very cool.
That is very cool. The bottle is very nice. I'm gonna buy one of these before I leave. Probably a crate of them. Surgeon General's warning, I'm going to ignore that, but this looks very good. Now we're going to try it. I will say this. Not quite White Claw, but it's really, really close.
I accept your apology.
It's really close. This is very good. And this is my precursor, but I'm a whiskey man. The problem is that when I start having Jack and Diet, then it's pizza time.
Oh, trust me. Oh,
start playing the games.
You're talking to an alcoholic.
Yeah.
You think I don't know what pizza time means?
Yeah.
Pizza time doesn't even include pizza.
Yeah.
It's getting a froggy dog at 3 a.m. in Paris because you are dying of hunger.
Because it dries you out.
Anybody who doesn't know what a froggy dog is, froggy dog is a 1.5 foot long hot dog in a giant bun that is then filled with chili and French fries. And you can buy it on the street around the corner from one of my favorite Irish pubs in Paris. Figured that one out. And then I threw this son of a bitch up.
Well, number 9 whiskey is available now. I'm going to have a link to it in the description where you can learn more. The new album, We Are Not Your Kind, is out right now. Knotfest Roadshow is currently happening in North America. Slipknot is going to Australia. Then they're going back to Europe. And you can go to their website and you can hit up all the places. Then they're probably going to come back to the U.S. eventually, hopefully, who knows. And then they'll probably go to I don't know, other countries, Russia and shit. Who knows?
If they'll have us, yeah.
Corey, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
All good.
It's been awesome. All right, guys, thanks for joining us today. If you're new here, you can subscribe to Clawfeed.
Oh, you going Clawfeed?
Now?
You going full Clawfeed?
I think I'm going to go Clawfeed.
Wow. I think you can get some calls.
Yeah. All right, thanks so much for joining us, guys. We'll catch you soon.